Okay, so we have a runtime error, for the last one. That is because, there are many attributes in product, including, as a starting point, the in date. They are not null, but here we did not give values here. That is the problem. Okay, so it will not be, this will not be entertained. This will not be loaded. So that's the problem. And the problem is this, because we defined the schema where product.p underscore indate is product.p underscore indate is not null. This one is not null. Okay. And we did not define that for that particular last row insertion, the last one that is what we are trying to insert, it failed. Okay. So just wanted to give that as an example. So when you run this, please remove this one. Okay, please remove this one. And then now that we have loaded, so the last one only it did not go through, right? So now that that is loaded, so we should be able, let me do this thing. Okay, now that it is loaded, we can do, the contents and do some select queries. Okay, so I'm going to do this simple query. Okay, select. So these are the things, right? Select star from product. So we have all these things. Okay, select P code, all these things, right? We can do this way also. Okay, let's see what happens here. We are basically saying select this attribute, all these attributes from product table. Okay, that's another way of saying it. So you can do the updates. So update is, you just say update product. If you do that update product, let's go back there, update product. And then if you go back and do these, select star product, for example, let's see what happens. Okay, select star, or that selects star from product. Okay, so now it should have updated the values. So what we are saying is the last one, 2016 118 is this one, right? The second row. So let's go back. That is I3, 13. Let's call it as 13Q2 /P2. So if you look at the previous one, the date is different. Okay, so we updated the date there. Not only we updated the date, but also the in date. Okay, so in date and the P code also we updated it. The in date as well as the P code. So P code is 13Q2P2 before. Well, it's the same thing, but just as a matter of fact, we updated it with that P code, where the P code is. So okay, so basically we are saying where the P code is there, because it could be potentially multiple rows. Where the P code is there, we want to make that particular change. So where this particular P code is there, we change this one. So this is the only thing that we change for that line where the P code is there. Okay, so that is just about doing updates. So we can do all those things, and then begin rollback, select from all those things. Delete table rows you can do, delete from product a particular row for where P code is equal to this one, so it will delete that. So let's run this one and then see what happens now. So I'm going back here. So let me run that one, and then that row should be gone. Okay, if you do select star product, select star from product. So you see what, there are only two lines now, two rows now. The middle row, that was the one 13-13-Q2P2. That is, we said no, delete that. Delete from product where P code is equal to 13-13-Q2 /P2. Okay. So you can do all this. The CRUD operation, basically, we can create the schema and do the CRUD operations. Okay, so that's beautiful. And then what else? Let me check here. So rest of them are all okay. So up to the, basically, what we have done is, so delete from product where Pmin is 5 equal to 5. It will delete all those rows. But then in this case, I think there is only one row. But so that is up to defining the schema. That's what we have done. Okay, and then you can Now what we are doing is the second part, basically load rows into DB. We delete all these things, okay? We delete all these things and then delete from product, delete from vendor, insert into vendor select star from V. So there is two things are, done. V and vendors mean the same thing. Somewhere we defined it like that. So for example, so first we define the vendor, right? Let's see if the vendor is a V is also defined where, which means basically the same thing, right? Table customer invoice line. Okay, somewhere select star vendor, select star. Okay, one second. I'm just looking for that V. Where is it defined? Okay. Basically insert into vendor select star from. So we have to define what is meant by star from V. Okay, so V should have been defined. So create table V, let's see, Control F, create. Yeah, vendor is there, we know. Okay, so okay, so later on, so while I was reading here, I was telling you, you can read these things. I didn't talk to you, but basically we are going back, roll back, to our original position. Um, so if you do this, if you select, select star from product, you'll get all the rows from product. But then, we want to clear up all these things. There is some additional things here, delete from product where this condition is there and so on. After all these things are done, we are just doing all these steps to explain, understand, and learn what is going on in terms of the CRUD operations. Now, I'm reading. After that is done, well, once the schema is well set, we were playing with all these, insertion, deletion, all those things, clean it up, and then we keep only the we keep all the schema table. So in the second part of the read, see dot read means read the SQL file. Okay, that is also we have given you, and that is this file. Okay, so in this file we are creating fresh. Okay, so drop table if exists P, drop table if exists V. So P refers to products and V refers to vendor. So it's the same. Basically, it is done here. We are creating table V and table P because that is the one that's messed up. With a lot of work we did, and then now we start inserting the data, a lot of data. Okay, so into V we introduce all these rows. Into P we introduce all these rows. There's a large number of collection, and then insert into product select star from P. Okay, so we select from P, okay, all the records, and then we insert that into product. So it's a kind of double SQL statement coming into it. We selection of all the rows from P and then inserting it into product. So basically, it's a kind of renaming at level of details going into product. Because remember, product was messed up and we deleted in the end. And then customer rows. Now we are also introducing customer rows, inserting customer rows, and then customer invoices. Invoices we are inserting, and then line rows we are inserting, and then committing to the database. Now the database is created for you to work with in terms of report creation and so on. So that's what I want to talk to you now. Having done that, the part two, I'm going to do it now, right now. Having done that, you created a database, you can do the report writing. But now we are going to do the same thing as if use the same thing in the sense that we want to use the SQLite3 to do our report writing, but having created a database and available for Python programming to use. So that's what your assignment exercise 2 is. Okay, so let me go back to the exercise 2. One second, module 4. So once you load this, I want to go back one step. Once you load this, SQL script, so this is the experimental thing that you learn and then do back and forth a lot of things, delete, add all those things, and then we remove all the things and then reload cleanly and then load all the real data here. And once that is done, we want you to write all these queries. Okay, that's what in using the SQLite3. Okay, so you can use SQL commands to do these reports, to count the number of invoices, dot, 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 dot. Okay. Um, so once that is done, that is assignment 2, that is coming this Sunday. But before that, on Thursday, Friday, you got to submit exercise 2, right? The exercise 2. So here it is, using data frame and SQL Alchemy. So I already downloaded this file, and then also I through my Anaconda, I fired up Jupyter Notebook. So I'm going to show that here. So here it is, Jupyter Notebook. I opened that exercise 2 zip file. I opened it, stored it in my folder, and then from there I opened it using Jupyter Notebook. So here, you have all this. You should have. If you don't have it, you have to. I hope you know all those things. You don't have any problem in, installing packages. You need to make sure that the OS is installed, Pickle is installed. Some of them are part of it already as part of Anaconda, maybe not part of Miniconda. But if it is not there, it's easy for you. Most of them will work with, if you say Conda install OS, Conda install Pickle, Conda install Pandas, Conda install NumPy, and so on. If it is not, just search in the internet, installing Python package, Conda command for Conda install Python package Pickle, for example. Okay, then you will get the commands. So once that is done, see, this is, you are reading the database, you are reading the CSV file. Okay, that is, read the PD dot, import pandas as PD. So your PD is really pandas dot read underscore CSV, a CSV file. You can read it, and once you read that, you get the data into the pandas data frame called XYZ customer 10. Okay, and you are just doing all this exploration here. So when you want to store the data, use the Pickle. So Pickle dumping, it will dump it into a binary form, but written as or written file in binary form. That's what WB means. So, and you also you want to keep this extension .p as Pickle to recall that it's a Pickle file. So whatever you read, you dumped it, and then you are loading it also. So this is just to show you an example on how to use the Pickle approach. Pickle here, now you are loading again into XYZ customer. Initially you dumped it, and then you are reading it from the dumped file. Okay, basically now it's called the read. Okay, RB, and then you are taking a copy, but there is in Python there is something called a shallow copy and deep copy. You have to understand that one. If you just say copy, unless you put this kind of conditions, it will not be a deep copy. Okay, so if you just simply say this one read is equal to this without copy command, it will not be deep copy. That means if you erase one, the other one will also get erased unless it's a deep copy. Okay. Okay. So the above is okay. These are all fine. Now you can also check, using the pandas get command, so these things are, you learned all these things in Python. So I'm just quickly reviewing this one. And then finally, you want to do the SQL. That's where I'm going here. So let me go to the SQL here. When you want to use the SQL, that's where you want to use the SQL Alchemy. So from SQL Alchemy, import create engine, and the create engine, you are defining the engine to be SQLite engine. And not only that, it is connected to a specific database. So engine is a SQLite engine connected to this database. Once you do that, then you can say, you can do your pd.read underscore SQL instead of read underscore CSV, and then you say XYZ trans and then the engine, because this XYZ DB has multiple tables. You can check it out in the SQLite also. For example, the SQLite is here, the SQLite directory is, we know that I say I should get out of this, not this one. Wait. One second. Not quick. I'm not sure whether it's going to work. Let's see. So I have to start this. Okay, Control C. Let me start that, and then I want to show you that SQLite, the number of tables that are available in the DB, XYZ DB, right? So change, we don't want this actually. You want to go to CMD. Change directory, we want to go here. Not download. Not this one. Stream 420. Exercise 2. Okay, yes. So now I want to go here, copy address, this text, change it. All right. So if I do this here, I have customer DB that I just was exploring. So XYZ DB, right? We want to check that XYZ DB tables, XYZ DB. Okay, so the command here is show current tables dot tables. Okay, and then dot schema display schema of a table, header mode dump, show is setting previous database names databases. So you can check that now, databases dot database. Oh, I have to do the SQLite3 first. SQLite3. So in order to attach the database, you have to use dot open XYZ DB. XYZ DB is the database, so just say dot open. I opened it, and then what are the tables it has? I just check, use the command dot tables. It says XYZ trans. That's the only one table that we have. Okay, so just thought I should explore all these things for you before I continue on this one, the path of the Anaconda, right? Jupyter Notebook. So that's what this is the engine. So we are reading using basically using this command read underscore SQL instead of read underscore CSV, because it's an engine, SQL engine that we have to use, and there is only one table there, and that table is called XYZ trans, and we are calling the table here and the engine name here. Then we have everything here, and now you can say, because it is read as a pandas data frame, now you can use all the pandas data frame commands here. Okay, that's what this is. Okay. You can also check the schema. What is the schema with the XYZ trans? So from SQL Alchemy, import schema, and you want to store that in the metadata, XYZ metadata, schema dot metadata bind equal to engine. So for what engine it is. So if you do that, then you can look for what are the tables you have, and there's only one table, that is XYZ trans table. So, but then it gives the full information about the metadata, what is the engine, what are the columns, and for each column, what is the data type, all those things. Okay, so that is given here, and it also gives you key. Now you know about dictionaries from Python. You can use all those ideas. So if you ask for the tables.key, there is only one table though here, right? That is XYZ trans. Okay, tables.keys. It will tell you these are the this is the only table, one table, and it will say the dictionary keys. At this point, there is only one table name. Okay, so and then you can do, because it is pandas data frame, you can do all those commands, sum, drop, duplicate, all those things. That's what it is here. Okay, and again, you can also you have a, now you take the unduplicated data from the XYZ PD data frame, and then you can post it as a SQL using the SQL command. You can post it as a new table. That's what was XYZ trans, now it is called XYZ customer data, just a different name. Okay, it is just to show you how to move data from read to write through pickle, and also read the data into pandas data frame, do all the transformations, and then put it back into the database. That's what all these things are about. So far what I have done and shown you. After that is done, then you can use actual SQL statement. Look at this one. Select star from XYZ trans from where trans channel is equal to RT. Okay. How do I know all these things? There is a channel there because you can check the data, of course, but here also the description is given to you. Okay. So there is some channel is there called RT. So so the full SQL command, you can use it under SQLite within Python using the SQL Alchemy. But here we are not, you use the SQL Alchemy to bring the data into PD data frame, okay, the pandas data frame, and then pandas itself can accept the SQL. That's what this point is. pd.read underscore SQL underscore query is the command. Read underscore SQL underscore query is the command, and within that you can give the usual SQL commands. And of course, you got to say that the engine is the XYZ SQLite engine. Okay. So rest of them are all, here is some examples done for you, and then we are asking you to do this one. It's pretty easy. So I hope you can cover this one also easily by Friday. And the other one is loading the data. All those things is actually on creating the database is on Sunday. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful time. And please do send questions, to Krishna or me. We will try. Our commitment is to get back to you. We are watchfully, collecting information to get back to you within 24 hours. Okay, and our goal is to much better than that, but at least we want to make sure we don't cross 24 hours. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a nice evening.